Hello, Sagittarius friends. Welcome to the segment that is just for you, Sag Moon, Sag Sun, Sag Rising, whatever you're listening or watching for. And if you haven't already listened to the intro, make sure to do that because that's the foundation on which I'm going to build the things we're going to discuss here. For very late degree Sagittarius friend, so birthdays like December 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23-degree Sag placements through the rest of the sign, I suggest you stay on and listen to the report that comes after this, the Capricorn report, because your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. If you don't know your moon and rising sign, you can do a quick search online for how to run a free birth chart. And if you have your birth info, you can find out what your moon and rising are, and then you can watch the segments for those too, to enrich your astrological experience, because we're so much more than just our sun sign. Okay, so I'm a fellow Saggy with you. I have a ton of energy in Sag. Everything I read for you is for me too. So that's exciting. So let's talk about what has been, what is going on, and what will be. All right, so we're coming out of a time from November into the beginning of January that has been strongly focused on Sagittarius. Our lingering holdout here with this storyline is Mercury, still moving through Sagittarius after having been retrograde. And this placement here, as of January 3rd, with Mercury finally getting out of the post-shadow period and being completely clear, back up to speed, still in our sign, is one of the best indicators of a feeling of a new year. It's a little bit sleepy because we've got Jupiter in retrograde, that's our ruler. We've got Mars in retrograde. Mars rules fellow fire sign Aries and is moving through fellow fire sign Leo, and we'll go back into Cancer. That's another story. But you know, we do have this sort of a sleepy feel to the new year, but because of this retrograde being wrapped up, there is a boost. There is some oomph. There is some clarity. We do still have some Sagittarius sparkle, and that does feel very good as a really great way to start out the year. So we've been going through a time of redefinition, Saggies, with all of this energy in Sagittarius. It's been rolling through our first house of our physical body, and with Mars in retrograde, which Mars rules the first house. So there's this focus on asking, how are we using our energy? How can we use it better? How can we use it most efficiently? What does our body need? How is your body communicating with you? And what is your body asking for? Okay. In many cases, your body may be asking for you to love your liver. This is a theme that I always like to bring up for Saggies. Sagittarius rules the hips and thighs. It also rules the liver. And I have seen many Saggies benefit from paying attention to what makes a liver happy. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just letting you know that your vitality can be directly affected by your digestive system and the cascade between your pancreas and your gallbladder and your liver. And we don't learn about this stuff in school. So you might not know that your happiness can actually be somewhat dependent on how happy your liver is, because in Chinese medicine, the liver rules anger, and the gallbladder rules resentment, and the pancreas rules the sweetness of life. And with that triad of transformation, being happy or not happy can actually affect how you feel. It can affect how you act. It can affect your relationships. And all of these are questions and topics that you are invited to discuss with yourself and the universe at this time. So if you are needing to be more vital, maybe there are some answers by understanding more about these systems and how well they're functioning, or signs of them not functioning as well. And sometimes just basic blood work can show you these things, but sometimes it doesn't. A sludgy gallbladder might not show up on blood work. It might be perfectly normal. Okay, so these are things I invite you, the universe invites you to look into as part of your reinvention of yourself, as part of your, stepping out in a way that you can have much more joy and happiness. And that also makes it easier for you to set boundaries. We're very much in a curve of expansion for our relationships. May 2024 through June 2025, Jupiter, our ruler, is moving through the 7th house of relationships and the sign of Gemini, our opposite counterpart, with having to do with communication and sharing and information and expression and learning and teaching. And now, since Jupiter's been in retrograde for a few months, we may feel certain things slowing down. Our ambitions are, maybe have been scaled back in a major way because of Mars making us lazy and unambitious and our ruler going backwards. So if you've been uninspired and feeling not yourself, this could be why. But what Jupiter's seeking to do in the retrograde is to help us build the foundation for our future relationship and prolific expression skyscraper as deeply as it needs to be for as high as we want to grow. Okay, so what did I just say? Okay, so I grew up in New York City and I watched them build skyscrapers, and we would look at the holes in the ground and marvel, whoa, what are they doing down there? Well, I came to learn that the higher the skyscraper, the deeper you have to build your foundation to support the growth of the height and the weight of that skyscraper. So the universe is setting you up for this epic time of building skyscrapers, strong, sturdy, beautiful skyscrapers in your relationship sector, in your education, learning, prolific expression, communication sectors. And the retrograde time is this beautiful time where all the people come out and they do their checks underground. They say, hey, everything all right down there? We doing all we need to grow as tall as we want to? Nope, got to fix that. And everybody comes around and they do their digging or they do whatever the heck goes on over there. And they're making sure that for as high as you want to rise, that is as deep as you need to go. And some of that depth needs to be with inner work. Some of that depth needs to be with painstakingly going through and working with the people who you're in relationship with to fix the foundations that may have been faulty. And so this is a very much me versus we type of energy. This theme of me versus we has been very prominent for the last couple of years because the Aries Libra eclipse cycle that is continuing, and we are entering eclipse season again. So March and April, we are returning to the heat of eclipse season, but now in the second half of January, the heat of the pot of the bubbling manifestation of the eclipses is starting to get turned up. So you might start to see me versus we, your individual creativity versus your place within the group. These themes start to come up again for their last chapter in these 2 years from 2023, the first half of 2025. There is some sort of conclusion that is going on with your independence versus your bonding with others, your individual gifts versus you being part of a community. There's a story happening here, and all of these beautiful layers are building up to this triumphant expansion, release, and octave raising in these arenas in your life. At the same time as that's happening, we have this very long Mars retrograde bopping through Cancer from September, going into Leo, now coming back into Cancer with home and family. So home and family is being accentuated through multiple lines of energy, long and short term at this time. Mars is going to move back through here, and it's going to help you heal resentments. It has been happening since September, really healing the resentments underneath your family, family constructs. This is you with the mortgage company, you with the government, you with your family, you with your spouse. And between this Mars energy, which rules the first house, which also rules anger, there are some things that you're mad about, and you have to fix those things. My Saggy friends, I promise that on the other side of dealing with that kind of stuff, you will be a much happier, healthier person. Many Sages get serious illnesses, autoimmune diseases, cancers, all kinds of things, because they think that everything is okay because they are looking at the bright side. This is a beautiful trait that I appreciate in myself and in my Sag friends. Fortunately, I have a lot of Capricorn to help balance this out. The realist versus the idealist is my thing here. But when you smile things away, they get buried and repressed somewhere. And Mars retrograde is this beautiful time where everything can come out. Now, at the beginning of the month, this Pluto-Mars clash is highlighting relatives of every kind, teaching and learning also, because it's on the edge here in this third and ninth house. It's on the edge of this second and eighth house, which is your finances and other people's finances. And there's money stuff, and there's, sustenance, and there's security, and there's a clash with an authority figure who is holding out from something that you want or need. And it's probably going to be ugly, but it will pass. And the more you can get through that time with making sure that your repressed energy comes out, but not necessarily at the person who you're feeling it towards, the happier you will be. If you are a seeking Sag, somebody who's seeking to make your life the best possible, and you're into inner work, then this would be a time to find EMDR, find EFT, find NLP, find any other trauma clearing therapy, and get someone, find CBT, you can look up all these acronyms, to help you not be as mad about the things that people did to you or didn't do that they were supposed to do. And the more you work with this, I promise that your life will start to unlock and your health has a chance to open up. And, on the other side of inner work, especially in a Mars retrograde, especially going through the deep 8th house of this deep psychology and these deep intimate relationships with people, Saggies, you've been hurt and you're mad, whether you realize it or not. And this is a time where it can come out. Now, it may come out from this transit. You can actively, consciously work on it coming out, but this is what's happening. Now, this is a chance, like I said, for you to use your energy more wisely. So think about the ways that you've done things and see how productive they are. And then do the things that have been productive, and the things that haven't, do different ways. It's pretty easy, right? While we're on the topic of money and on your stuff versus other people's stuff, Mercury, the Sun, and Pallas Athena are all moving through Capricorn. That means this is a supreme time to do your taxes. Saggy friends, we are prone to distraction. You're not going to have a time like this with nice, earthy, grounded energy for a while. So if you have to do something tedious, bookkeeping, planning, strategy, money, budgeting, tax preparation, etc., you're not going to have as much chance to be diligent with this as you will now. Okay, so try to use this energy because you'll be so relieved that you got it over with, and it will be much easier for you to do it at this time. And all of this lights up your second house of money. So you may just actually have money news. You may have money come in. You may get a good strategy for your finances. And it is a time for all of that. So from the beginning of the month, we've got Ceres, the moon, Venus, Pluto, recently Pluto. And then the moon will come back again on the 29th of January at 10 degrees, new moon Aquarius, also Chinese New Year, auspicious time for new beginnings as well. So all of this Aquarius energy is bringing unconventional ideas, new ways of looking at things, community opportunities, neighborhood. Your neighborhood is being so strongly aspected at this time because the third house is very neighborhoody. And all of this Aquarius energy is very social and has to do with groups and communities. So you have neighborhoody, community, group types of stuff lighting up your neighborhood, basically. So you might become very involved with your neighbors. You might become, just have something to do with people, like be involved with more local groups. And that can be very fulfilling for you. And you may even be able to earn some money there. Venus is there for a little while longer. And on the new moon, you can do your wishes on any of those topics. You have a dispute with your neighbor. Pluto could be bringing that in now. If you have, sibling or other relative issues that you want to set wishes and intentions to resolve, all of those are great, and those days are on the 29th. All right, so then Venus will move into Pisces, join long-term Saturn and Neptune there. All of this will accentuate your fourth house of home and family. Those points will be very, very, very notable. These will square your Sagittarius placements, and they will bring pressure to your home and housing and family. Housing pressure and home and family pressure does not always have to be bad. Okay? A lot of times it is. We'll just call it that, right? A lot of times there's family stress and pressure and there's stuff you got to deal with. But that's not the only way that this can manifest. This can also manifest through pressure to build, pressure to do something with your home or housing and situation or your family situation to improve your life and improve the life of your family. And sometimes pressure is like a deadline or an opportunity or a big clean out or a big organization of, the house or something like that. So there's pressure being put on fine tuning your home and family space. And that could turn out for better or worse, but you will feel the pressure, but you do have this slow build and this spiritualization process that's happening. And Venus here can bring money in real estate and money from home-based ventures. Very important to know that Venus in your fourth and fifth house is going to be a longer term story than usual, because after Venus goes through the fourth house, bringing its nurturance and love, and it could be a very, very, very just nice family time, really. I mean, the fact that it's squaring does not have to mean something bad. Venus moving through here can mean you finish a family project together, or you work together to accomplish something together as a family. It's just like that pressure to do something. It doesn't have to be a conflict. But since Venus is going into retrograde, and the pre-shadow period starts, or the pre-transit retrograde starts at the end of January, Pisces is going to be a common theme, because it will move into Aries and then it'll go retrograde in Aries and go back into Pisces. So whatever is going on there, there's going to be extra of it. You may be asking the questions, how can you be more creative at home? This is Pisces energy. This is creativity. This is art. How can you have a more spiritual or mystical or tranquil setting, peaceful setting in your home? What can you do to build more peace? And really, this Saturn is trying to help you build more peace in your home and family. And Neptune is trying to help you to spiritually clear out the karma that's interfering with you doing that. And now Venus can help maybe refresh with some design, with some, things like that. I'm not going to go deep into Venus retrograde right now, because I have a lot of resources on that. And I'll talk about it more when it's actually retrograde. But if you do have design projects, it's better to do them before the retrograde. So January, would be better to do design projects than the actual retrograde themselves, unless they are low stakes, inexpensive, and easy to change. Okay, simple things like new pillows, new sheets, some accent things, painting a wall, that's fine. But like the bigger design things, or the more expensive, harder to change or harder to fix things, you may want to get those done in January before the retrograde. Resonate with my work, please click a like, subscribe, and click the bell to ensure that I go into your feed. And if you enable notifications, you will definitely get all of the things that I post. I'm going into a time where I may be posting things like once a week. So if you do all those things, it will help you to not miss anything from me. Also, joining my free VIP community can help you to not miss anything from me. Remember to figure out how to run a free birth chart. Just search for that online, and then come back and watch for your sun, your moon, and your rising. Late degree Sagittarius friends, birthdays like December 15th to the rest of the sign, or 23 degrees to the rest of the sign. You hang on and continue listening for Capricorn, because that will also be relevant for you. If you love my content and you don't want to miss anything that I post, and you want all of my content early, then go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in there, click receive, you'll get a welcome letter, and in the welcome letter, you'll get VIP access to my eclipse resource page, my retrograde resource page, my zodiac health tips, my 28-day very powerful virtual coaching program, and you'll get weekly astrology updates with all of the information that can help you make the most of the starry transits, including 1 month early, my monthly written star report that has the sweet and salty dates. These are the dates to be most awareful and careful of, and the dates to celebrate the most and plan your important things. And you get all of that as part of my VIP. Plus, podcast menus, and I know for sure YouTube don't always notify you whenever I post new content, even if you're subscribed, even if you click the bell, even if you enable notifications. So if you want to be sure that you don't miss anything from me, then the best way to do that is to be part of this VIP group, because I will let you know as soon as I have anything posted, and you will get early access to all of it. I also sometimes have private promos for my VIP group that the public never sees. And if you want to study astrology with me, go to www.beastropro.com, beastropro.com, to see my astrology certification course. If you want to learn astrology to help yourself and your friends, or you want to earn money, that is my specialty. I can tell you how to make your astrology practice work and earn money from your love of the stars. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.